If there is any way we could ever scissor, insert anything, you and I aren't friends. So the moment I call you my homegirl, my homeboy, we can never go another step. You know, like I've never been in a situation where I called someone a friend and then been like, wait, I have feelings for you.
Bad little flex, she wanna know me. I stay low key, all gas, no brakes, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make your girl OD.
Hello guys, welcome to As Your Big Sister with your host, me, Asia, my queen. That is me, that is she. I am where I want to be. Guys, I went to Best Buy the other day. And the employees are just trash. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not a complicated customer by any means because I've worked customer service my entire working years. So I'm not a annoying customer by any means. So it's not hard to really impress me. Just answer my fucking question. They can't even do that. Best Buy is terrible. That's why I had extreme anxiety before I went there, but I needed to be there because I had to get my camera fixed. So I went there and I ran into a listener. How you doing, Erin? It was so amazing. Like, I love running into people who watch my content, who listen to the podcast. Like, it's amazing because like I told you guys before, like sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to myself. So when I go out and people are like, wait, Asia, I follow you on TikTok, or I listen to your podcast. I'm like, ah! So we sat and we talked, and she talked about her content creating journey, and it was just amazing. I want you guys to know that please, if you guys see me, talk to me. If you guys see me, talk to me. If you see me and you don't talk to me, that's okay. You know, some of us are shy, but do not message me. Do not message me and be like, hey, I saw you in Best Buy. I saw you at Circle K yesterday. Don't do that. That scares the living shit out of me, okay? When people do that, I don't like that shit. And then it brings me to a place where when I'm in public, I'm like, feeling like I have to like look over my shoulder constantly because I'm like, okay, who knows me? Who knows that? You know what I mean? And it's weird because I'm not a celebrity by any means, but I don't like that. So if you get too shy, that's okay. Just move on, okay? Please do not message me saying you saw me anywhere if you do not talk to me, okay? Thank you. But Erin, it was very nice meeting you. It was very nice talking to you. Moving on. I watched the Gerard Carmichael reality show, is what he calls it. The title is a little tricky because when you watch it, it's more of a docuseries. It is a docuseries. So if you guys don't know who Gerard Carmichael is, he is a comedian. He also had a sitcom called The Carmichael Show on Netflix years back. Very talented, very, very talented. The first time I came across him was on The Breakfast Club. He had an interview with Charlemagne, which is one of my favorite interviews because it was so vulnerable. You know, two men talking about their relationship with their dad. Woo. You know, you don't see that too often. You know, I think some men like to sugarcoat the traumas that their dad caused on them and their family. But Charlemagne and Gerard were very, very honest about how they felt about the actions from their dad. And it was just beautiful to watch. He was promoting a documentary. This was, we're in 2024. This was in, I would say 2018, 2019. And I became a fan of him. Not too much of his comedy. I've just never watched it. So it's not like I don't like it. I just never watched it. But I became a fan of his artistic eye. You know, I love film. I love expression through interviews and just people sharing about how they feel about their upbringing. It was a very good documentary. So when I heard that he had a docuseries, I was like, oh yeah, I am on it. I watched it and I was pleasantly surprised. During one of his stand-up shows a couple years ago, he came out as gay. And when I tell you, in my eyes, I always look at people when I first meet them. I'm always like, oh, they look innocent, da da da. Baby, after he told his truth to the public, oh, on this docuseries, he was licking toes. He was on Grindr, inviting men to his house. He was outside. He was outside. I love that for him. He gives me the energy of someone that I just want to protect so bad. And when I saw that the friends he surrounds himself with, which were two Black women who have been his friends for a while, I was like, oh, now it makes so much sense. So in the docuseries, he admits to Tyler, the Creator, rapper, hip hop artist. He admits to him that he has feelings for him. I guess Tyler, the Creator, is bisexual or something. I remember him kind of coming out, but he's so playful that, like, I don't know if anybody really took him seriously, because when I've been hearing people talk about Tyler, the Creator, and this whole situation with Gerard expressing his feelings to Tyler, everyone's like, wait, Tyler's not gay. Tyler doesn't like dudes. And then there were some people that are like, yeah, he does like dudes. He came out. And so everyone was so confused. It's so funny when you have to come out multiple times. I had to come out multiple times too. So, I would say he's bisexual, at least, because when Gerard expressed his feelings, Tyler didn't say like, oh man, I don't like dudes. He was like, you're my brother. Like, we're family. Like, what are we talking about? But before that they could have that conversation, Tyler was kind of ducking and dodging him. And it made me think about a couple times where people didn't exactly express their feelings to me after our friendship bloomed, but they have expressed sexual interest in me. Has a friend ever come out to any of you and told you guys they had feelings for you? How awkward is that? Especially if you don't have feelings for them. And I'm the type of person that if there is any way we could ever scissor, insert anything, you and I aren't friends. So the moment I call you my homegirl, my homeboy, we can never go another step. You know, like, I've never been in a situation where I called someone a friend and then been like, wait, I have feelings for you. I don't know. I guess it's a little immature for me to like feel uncomfortable in that situation, which Tyler, like, I was like, okay, how old are you? 10? He was like, oh, I have to fart. And like went outside and farted outside. I was like, what the fuck? And then like Gerard was like kind of looking at him like, oh my God. Like, you could tell he was just like, I don't know if he was devastated. Well, actually, he did look devastated. I'm not gonna lie. He looked devastated. Because for me, if I'm sitting here expressing my feelings towards you and I have to fart. Oh, I have to like, oh, and then he was eating salmon with his hands, smacking, making jokes. When Gerard first texted him saying he had feelings for him, this was like a year before they had this sit down where Tyler was fucking farting. Gerard texted him saying, hey bro, I have feelings for you, right? Why did Tyler send him a voice memo back saying, ha ha ha, you stupid bitch? That would have just ended it there. So for them to have like a conversation in which was needed, because Gerard said he was kind of acting a little weird, if you want to continue a friendship, you guys are going to have that conversation. So I understood why they sat down, but the way Tyler was acting, I was like, you are trying to duck and dodge a much needed conversation, like I said, especially if you want to continue a friendship. But you could just tell he was just like very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. And it like made me uncomfortable. And then like, it was just, I had a friend, we're chilling on the couch watching Insecure. And she looks over at me and she's like, I had a dream that you and I were kissing and you were holding me and stuff. And I wanted to fucking throw up, bro. Like I wanted to throw up in my mouth. I was just looking at her like, okay, I understand sometimes you can't help your dreams, but like you could tell like she was kind of like feeling it, one, and two, why are you telling me this? I was like, it was weird. I was like looking at her like, oh, you did? She's like, yeah, you were holding me. And I was like, ooh. And not because she's ugly, far from it. Beautiful woman. It's because like, when you're my friend, you're sis. When I call you my friend, you're sis, you're bro. Like this feels like some country style shit for us to be like, oh, really? I was holding you in a dream? Oh, let's kiss. Like, it would feel like me kissing my sister on the, okay. It was so disgusting. I was like, okay, let's move on. I wanted to talk to you guys about why my 20s sucked. So I talked about on episode 131, I talked about my 20s sucking, right? I said it was fucking ghetto and I want to get the fuck ASAP. So the reason why I want to tell you guys why my 20s sucked is because if you guys are in your 20s, it doesn't matter where you're at in your life. If you're 45, 55, 65, you could take something from this. But for my 20-somethings, I really want you guys to really listen to what I got to say, especially if you're dealing with this. So my 20s, if I were to sum up my 20s, it would be the decade of people pleasing. Okay? A lot of people love saying that word. I'm a people pleaser. People pleasing people. Like, the reason why I'm a people pleaser is because I'm a pleasant puppy. You know, so I'm just so tired. I'm tired of the word people pleaser. I'm tired of the word empath. I am tired. My dad called me that yesterday. I was like, okay, Dad, like, if you don't stop. Yeah, those two. Even though they're words, they're real. I'm just tired, okay? Because I feel like people use calling themselves an empath or a people pleaser in a way to convince people that they're good people, okay? People pleasers and empaths can be bad people too, okay? They could be terrible. Honestly, some of the most annoying people to me are people pleasers because I feel like you're manipulating me. You know, like when you're telling me yes and you really mean no, I feel like you are lying to me because deep down you want to say no. And when you want to say no, but you say yes, you build up this like little animosity towards that person because you're doing something that you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel lied to. I feel cheated. Okay, say no when you want to say no. Going back to what I was saying about why my 20s sucked. Or have sucked, because I'm still in that bitch. I'm still in the fucking ghetto, okay? But my 20s sucked because I cared about if people liked me more than I cared about if I liked me. Like, I would always think about, oh, did they do this because they don't think that I'm pretty? Did they do this because they don't like the way I do that? Okay, it's cool to be aware of your surroundings. It's cool to read the room. I think it's necessary to read the room, but nigga, you reading way too motherfucking deep. Being so pressed if other people like you is the fact that the goalpost moves especially with people that want you to be running all day and begging for their approval, they'll continue to move the goalpost. So you're running all fucking day. You'll never get to the point where they actually treat you well. You'll never get to the point where they actually respect you because they need you to keep begging and keep running. And I got to the point in my mind, right? Like I am not all the way there, but I've gotten to the point where I'm like, the best thing I could do for myself is to like me and to focus on if I like me and to focus on if I can live with my actions, live with who I am. Because I know some hoes, which, you know what? You could hate me all you fucking want, bitch. Mwah. No bars. I'm here and I'm cute. I'm cute. I'm smart. I'm funny. I could twerk. The real bitches know. The real bitches know. The real bitches see. But there's this person, right, that I know does not like me, bro. I have to be around this bitch often. This slant head hoe, I have to be around this hoe often. And I know she don't fucking like me. And I catch myself sometimes wondering why she doesn't fucking like me. And I'm like, bro, her head is slanted like a motherfucker. She got one of them haircuts that says, I love black men. Hey, I love black men. Y'all know what I'm motherfucking talking about. Them white women that have that slant. So it's like, Asia, like, you don't have to keep wondering why she don't like you. All you gotta do is consider the fucking source. You guys know I always say that. Consider the motherfucking source. Look at her. And that's no shade. I mean, that is shade. I just called her a slant-head bitch and I said no shade. I love doing that. I love insulting and being like, no shade. Because it's all shade, bitch. But you not liking me is not my fucking problem. Go to therapy, bitch. Write it in your journal, ho. But something about being in your 20s is like, okay, well, like, what do I gotta do? Do I gotta work harder? Do I gotta change the way I dress? Do I gotta change the way I laugh, the way I talk, the words that I use? What do I have to do? Haters are always going to move the goalposts. You will never get to the destination. I had to say it again. Do you guys want me to say it one more time? Haters are always going to move the goalpost. There is never going to be a destination. I'm never going to get to a place where she likes me because the bitch don't like me because she's a hating ass hoe. And that's it. I'm sorry I'm fucking cute. I'm so sorry. Not sorry. I'm sorry I'm cute. Blame my daddy. Blame my mama. I didn't do it. I had no parts in this. I had no parts in this. That's what you got to say. I had no parts in this. Take it up with God, ho. But like I said, the best thing you could do is like you and worry about if you like you. Think about if you like you. I truly believe all we have to do for one another is be polite and fair. After that, you're asking for too fucking much, bitch. You're asking for too fucking much. I say good morning. I say hello. When we walk past each other, I do what I gotta fucking do. After then, you're asking too much out of me. Because now you're expecting me to have to change who I am because you got a fucking problem. But in our 20s, we want to be invited to the parties. We want to be in the mix. We want to be in the in crowd. We want to be all in people's faces and shit. And even if we don't want to be in people's faces, we want this feeling of acceptance. I think That's just human nature. It doesn't matter what age you are. But something about the 20s, especially your early 20s, you want everybody to fucking like you. And it just isn't realistic. Because there'll be times that I'm like, why wasn't I invited to this, and that? Bitch, you know you don't want to go. There was this thing that happened a couple weekends ago that some of the people that I know were invited and I wasn't. And I had this feeling of like, like I kind of wish I was included in the One, I've never been a bitch that was included into anything. If you listen to, was it last episode? Yeah, last episode where I was talking about Amanda Seales. I've never been the type of person that people were like, oh, invite Asia. Oh, invite her to this. I've never been that bitch. It's not because I'm not likable. It's because I'm a real ass bitch. I'm so sorry, but like, we don't come, like, it's not often where you meet a bitch like me. It's not often where you meet someone that's a real person, someone that's not going to talk about you behind your back. I be meeting people all the time where I think they're friends with somebody, and then we get one-on-one and they're telling me that they're not really friends. I'm not that bitch. And I see that they're all in cliques and all in people's faces and shit. So I'm like, okay, well, this is why I'm not included in shit like this, because I'm not going to be all up in your face and then behind your back saying I don't like you. Of course, there are things that, you know, you get annoyed by, you know, with your friends and stuff like that, like whatever. But to be like, yeah, I really don't like her. I'm confused. You were all up in the videos, all up in the selfies. I'm so fucking confused. So I know that I'm not going to be the type of girl that is invited to everything. I know I'm not going to be included in everything. Because I'm also the type of person that is going to ask you, wait, how are you guys not friends? But like, you were saying like bestie on your story on Instagram. Not confrontational, but in a way like, okay, I'm so confused. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You know, I could see why I would rub somebody the wrong way. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm aggressive in my tone sometimes. I'm straightforward sometimes. I am, you know, I could have a tongue of a what do they say? A sharp tongue. You know, sometimes my words can hurt. I get that. I 100% get that. But I also know that I'm a good person. I'm very genuine. You know, I show up with the best intentions. Yeah, most times. Okay, that was weird. But like, you know, like I said, the older you get, you realize who you are, and you also realize, you know, those type of people aren't really going to like me. You know, it's almost like seeing a KKK member not like you, and you're like, why don't you? What? I'm so confused. Why they don't like me? Did you look in the mirror? You are a Negro. You got to kind of look at it like that. Like, okay, why does this person not like me? Oh yeah, I'm a real ass bitch. And there was this one time, one of my coworkers comes up to me and he's like, oh, so-and-so doesn't like you. I said, nigga, I like me. Now what? I didn't say now what, but I was like, I like me. So, and if you really calculate, if you do the calculations, okay? Where's my pen? Okay. Here's my paper. Okay. If you do the calculations, hold on. Okay. If I do the calculations, okay, I put your like plus me equals $0. There's nothing I could do with your like. I can't do anything with your like. Why the fuck would I give a fuck if you like me? And the dude that said he didn't like me, he was corny. Every day he was crying about a girl that didn't like him. Okay, let me stop because I did the same thing. So let me stop. He was so corny, dude. And I would always be like, he didn't like me because he would tell me, oh yeah, so-and-so, like he was in a relationship with a girl that just wanted to fuck everybody. Like, she would end up fucking his friends, fucking a dude, like, after a party. And then, like, he would have to pick her up because she was drunk as fuck. And, like, after fucking all these. And I was like, hey, like, you probably shouldn't, like, be with her, you know? Like, you probably shouldn't continue to pursue this. And he'd be like, well, she deals with, like, take it out on me. And I'm like, okay, nigga, you corny. You're just corny. Or you're going through something, which is fine. But why are you attacking me? So I was like, okay, all right. But I realized that the best of me comes from places of ease, right? So not having to convince somebody to like me, to get invited, to get the blah, 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 blah. The best of me comes from natural relationships, you know? I don't have to manipulate you into liking me. I don't have to play mind games. You know, it's just easy, right? Like, that's what I love about me and my girlfriend's relationship. It wasn't hard. Like, when we first met, I was like, hey, I like you. And she's like, okay, I like you too. And we got to know each other and we just did all these things and then just came together. The relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships that, you know, I had to like pretend to be somebody else were always the relationships that kind of ended like dumb, you know, on some dumb shit, you know? But to be honest, I've never really had to like talk people into being my friend. I used to play a lot of mind games with romantic relationships though. Like, I would always lie and shit. I would read your message and not reply on purpose. And energetically, I'm begging you to double text me and all this shit, you know? And like I said, with my relationship with my girlfriend, like, it wasn't like that. Like, I was just texting her back, you know? I wasn't having to be like, oh, let me wait 20 minutes. And then like, so she doesn't feel like I care. And then like, do this and do that. It was just, I care. I want to talk to you. I want to be here. What is up? She did the same fucking thing with me. So yeah, we're going to wrap this episode up. Thank you guys again, another week, for listening, for watching me. Don't forget to tell your friends that I'm beautiful, kind, smart, and sexy. I'm Asia, my queen. This is As Your Big Sister. Have a great day. Bye-bye.